Here on Guilty by Association's podcast, we are shedding light on life experiences from our own guilty flaws, lessons learned, and still learning as men and taking a positive outlook from negative circumstances. Blended with tackling hot topics impacting us and our communities today, GBA is about making moves. We will be diving deep and shedding light on important social issues that keep you in motion. So come take a ride with us through this thing called life, with exciting discussions and interviews that will be brutally honest and fun. As you enjoy, remember that you will be guilty by associations.
Each new day is a new opportunity to improve yourself. Take it and make the most of it. What's going on, good peoples?
What's good, fellas? What's good,
What's
brothers?
up? What's up, fellas? It's been a minute.
It's been a minute. Well, I'm reintroducing myself. I'm Alexander.
I'm Big Mike.
I'm El Boogie.
We in the building. Well, fellas, I know it's been a while and all, and I ain't seen cats in a minute. But I'm really looking forward to today's topic, man. I guess we could just dive right on in, so no need to hold back any longer. I know we're ready to get going, get smoking.
Well, I do want to say to y'all, I know, I want to say real quick, belated Happy Father's Day. That was last weekend, so wanted to get that in.
Doubt.
They always an event going on.
Every time we do an episode.
I ain't even gonna talk about the George Floyd thing, but
Yeah, that's a whole other episode right there.
Yeah.
Well, special events.
Appreciate that.
Special events happens with special people, so you got to.
No doubt.
That's how it's aligned. That's how it is.
No doubt. Well, yeah, I appreciate that, man. I had a wonderful Father's Day, and so again, I'm gonna follow piggyback Big Mike. El Boog, happy belated Father's Day, sir.
Appreciate it. Yeah. I know you guys are enjoying running around with them kids. The ones you claim, the ones you don't.
Well, I don't got none, but my mom always joke. We don't know what you got out there. So.
Yeah, that was on your behalf.
Well, that's a perfect segue in today's talk about men's health, staying healthy out here. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
So I'm really excited about this discussion, because I know this has been on our deck for a minute to go in and dive into, and I know this is we got our guru in here among us, Mr. El Boog. I'm gonna let him take lead on this. You know what I'm saying?
That's not saying much.
This is gonna be it's gonna be a deep one. But we do need to let the audience know we're not no doctors, but
we're not no health experts here. We just our opinions
and go by what's worked for us and research, and we ain't got the expertise like El Boog, so you can blame it on him. But
I'll take the blame on it.
Well, I'm gonna pass the mic to Big El Boog. You got it, sir.
All right. But look, we've been talking about this topic for a while. We've been juggling it. We're just trying to find the right timing. Other topics kind of came to the forefront before we got to this. So we kind of put ourselves kind of on the back burner. But really, we got to we can't overlook our own health, So men's health, all right, especially in the age bracket we're in, in the 40 plus or 50 or whatever bracket we're in. So we cannot deny men's health. So let me ask a question to the fellas, to start this off with. How important is your health to you?
I'll go first. Very important. And, as I get older, I have no shame telling y'all my age. I'm 47. And as you get older, each visit gets scarier. It's like as each year goes. But it's very important, not only for when you're not taking care of your health, you're kind of being selfish to the ones that really love you too.
True.
So, I want to be around from them. I don't want to cause them no pain. And I know it's probably on a whole different era with y'all having kids. So to me, it's very high on the radar. And that's the most I can put in a nutshell.
All right.
Yeah, same for me too. I mean, being a late bloomer when it comes to having children and all, being being an older parent, and I'm also 46 as well. That's extremely important, and actually, my family is my motivation for keeping myself healthy, and plus we'll dive in a little more of my own personal different battles I have going on, but they're my motivation, man. It's the family, about health. Without health, no wealth. Without health, so.
Yeah, I definitely would piggyback that, like that saying, health is wealth. Without it, you don't have anything. And
Right.
it's a key thing that both you guys have both said by giving your age. Well, first of all, I'm 50. I just hit the big mark.
And he's
But
old.
you look younger than both of us, though.
Exactly. Exactly.
And I appreciate it, fellas. Some days I feel older, some days I feel younger, but sometimes, staying on top of your health is key. If nothing else, it definitely is key. And as we'll get into this, as we get into this episode later on, we'll talk about some maybe some health issues or walls we all have to deal with. But Mike, you made a good point, an excellent point. You said every time you go back, you get scared. Now, when you're referring to getting back, I'm assuming you're referring to your physical.
Yeah, my physical.
Okay, so let's open that up right now, because that's something that's like number one for the black man anyway, because we run for the doctor. Only time we go to the doctor is when that wife or family member nags him to death. Look, you've been coughing for 8 months. That thing is turning green or whatever. You need to go to the doctor. So it shouldn't be that way. So let me ask you, fellas, when was the last time you had a physical? Be honest.
I really just had one about let me see, it's about 4 or 5 months ago. I get allergies real bad, and especially around when springtime's coming, and I was like, you know what, first I had a COVID scare, because I was like, man, is it my allergy, is it COVID? And then I was like, man, I better get a physical, which ironic, I've been dealing with much more stress than ever, but this time my blood pressure was down. I was like, hey, it don't make no sense now. I'm like, I have been back working out though, but I was like, I was still surprised. I was like, he was like, well, whatever you're doing, you keep doing. So I was like, oh, okay.
That's what's up. Yeah, that's what's up though.
But it is a scary thing, man. It definitely, to me, it is. Some people, it don't bother them. Hey, give it to me straight. Whatever it is what it is. But me, I get kind of nervous, man. Especially because, doctors, man, I don't know about y'all, man, but some doctors, man, they have a poker face, man. They'll come in, they'll be looking at the charts, and I'll be like, all right, doc, man, is it good or what? You know what I mean? So
yeah, it is. Sometimes they will throw you off sometimes. Like, what's going on right now?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. That's true. I guess you want me, I dive on. So, well, I do an annual. I was when I was kind of preparing for these questions, doing my homework for this one, but I do it annually, especially by already having pre-existing conditions. I mean, I see multiple doctors anyway, so I typically say annually. Sometimes I do biannually, just keeping it real. Sometimes I may skip a year, but by me already having pre-existing conditions, I already see a cardiologist, see other doctors. So sometimes my time does get a little off, where it doesn't be annual. Even I know I got devices to remind me. I do get a little slack, but I figure I see so many doctors anyway throughout the year. That's usually my little physical check-in, you know what I'm saying? But no disrespect to, of course, doctors that specialize in different areas, because, a specialist is different from a primary. So when I looked at that question, I was kind of answering it from that perspective of, I see my primary doctor annually and sometimes biannually.
Yeah.
So,
and appreciate your honesty, because I ain't gonna lie. That sounds good that I just did mine a couple of months, but before then I hadn't had one in like 2 years. So I ain't gonna sit up here and make that look good just because I had one 4 months ago. I was slacking a couple of years before that. So
but you know what? I like that, Mike, because of the fact that likewise, it was 2 years before I had my physical, which was the
Yeah.
tail end of last year. So
Mhm.
I was in the same boat as you. Reason being for me, just being busy.
Yeah.
That's
Wasn't
it.
scared,
Yeah.
being busy,
Yeah.
but you got to
Yeah.
make that time. So if you either you're going to make the time or the time is going to be made for you. You know, it's
Right.
going to be taken from you. So it's
Right.
good that we keep it at least annual, especially in our
Right.
age bracket.
Yes.
You know, when you
Right.
get 40 and above, then there's certain tests. We joke about it all the time. You know, you get to be
Mhm.
40, so you start getting the finger test. You know, when I talk about the finger test,
Yeah.
you know, you're getting your prostate check. Do we
Yeah.
look
Right.
forward to it? Of course not. We don't look forward to it.
Right.
But that's something
Right.
that we definitely want to keep track of. Now, I just actually got a scarier one. When you
Well,
got
I did want to say something before you go deep on that. Was that
Mhm.
I meant to say earlier was that I really appreciated this. I wound up appreciating this episode even more as I was doing the homework, because it was a personal assessment for myself. So that's why I know it's not probably one of our exciting ones, like
Yeah.
but this is a very important topic,
It's
and
it's a
yeah,
it kind of I know this is a very important topic, and I'm glad we're doing it, but it can be a touchy one too, which we'll
yeah,
probably get into later. But
right.
yeah, it's a conversation. You know, it
That we
has
gotta
to be
have.
had. You know.
Hmm.
Right. You gotta have it.
Barbershop talk. There
Yeah,
you
you
go. All
gotta have
right,
it.
Elbow.
You gotta
Yeah,
have it. You know, this is
that's right.
it's a necessary evil to a certain degree.
Right.
Now the secondary test that I haven't had as of yet, but I have to have is, which would be scheduled, is a colonoscopy. Now
Yes.
that's something I'm not looking forward to. But so, the finger's one thing, but good Lord, you know, now you talk about the tube. But you know, this is something that's preventive. This is something that you do have to start doing in each phase in your life. You got to get certain tests. You got to get certain things monitored and checked repeatedly. And if you do have a pre-existing condition, obviously, that's something you would definitely want to follow up with your physician. As you already said, Big Mike, we're not experts, we're not doctors, but just as being to get to where we're at, obviously we have to have some type of recipe. And the recipe that we've been trying to follow is, you know, some healthy living or changing of lifestyles that previously was not healthy. You know, we can't
Yeah.
do what we were doing in our 20s and 30s once you start hitting 40. You know, we think
Yes.
you can. Your body will tell you
Yeah, we
otherwise.
did. We think we
Yeah.
can. Exactly. I did. I'm doing just came back during the weekend of a wedding and wore out, man. You know what I'm saying? Be a wore out for 2 days, and being part of the groomsmen and standing and all the dancing and all that stuff. Like, man,
You was
I
out
would
there
be
dancing.
laid up for about it
I,
one time, just for a minute. I talk about it another time.
I hear you, man.
Another episode.
Them energy levels is something else, man.
Oh yeah, man. Your energy levels is something else. You know, like I know, in order for me to do certain things nowadays, I got to make sure that I pace myself and or make sure I take some
Yes.
vitamins. You know, and it's not because we're weak. It's just the fact that sometimes you just got to fill in the gap. You know,
Mhm.
and then once I fill in the gap, then I can still run with the young boys. I can still do
Mhm.
what's necessary, but at the same time, I'm not gonna wear myself out. You know, so you got to
Yeah.
really pace yourself. You know, with age comes
Right.
wisdom, as they say. You know, in
Right.
order for us to get to
Right.
that next level, obviously we're gonna have to fine tune ourselves. I know your wife will appreciate that. Big Mike,
No
the women
doubt.
chasing you around right now appreciate that. You know what I'm saying? So we got to make sure
Yeah,
we
yeah.
do
Look,
these things.
it's funny you said that. 'Cause I know nowadays, it's been scorching the heat. I've been going out there giving out on going to court. I give him the business. I treat him like I know he's 9, but I treat him like he's 29.
Now that's just abuse.
I just be killing him. And but I know I'm grown now. I get like this too hot, but like, yo, son, I gotta wait till it cools down. You know what I'm saying? 'Cause
Right.
it's a little humid out here. You gotta start knowing how to listen to your body, and that's
Well,
also something important too that we need to put out there too. That, and I know we're gonna talk about it later, about the self-care, but
Right.
when you want to be in touch with your body, you want to be in, know what's going
Yes.
on.
definitely.
Well, in regards to just going to the doctor of any type of doctor or whatever your practice is, let me ask you, fellas, what do you prefer? I should say, Western medicine or the natural holistic method? You know, because some people prefer one
man,
method, some people prefer another.
Well, that's a curveball, Elbow.
Yeah.
I ain't prepared for that when you got me.
But that's
I'm
just something to
glad.
think
You
about.
know what? I was kind of prepared for this one because I was thinking about that before we even got on there, was like, man, what? Just like, I mean, for instance, man, we hear all this about, sea moss is the new thing and
Mm-hmm.
alkaline water. And do we have any proof?
CBD.
Yes.
CBD.
Do we have any proof that this really works? And some people, the Western medicine, you do need it, but I've seen it play some real hard effects on people, especially, which will, especially women, how it can throw off their hormone imbalances and all types of stuff. But I don't know, man. I just haven't did enough research to know if Eastern medicine is better than,
Yeah.
Western medicine.
I've heard, well, of course, I'm kind of splitting the role with this because, I'm in this, my wife works for a major pharmaceutical company. So, it helps pay the bills. But then I'm also, personally, I also do respect and recognize, that Western medicine as well. So an alternative medicine. So I think I've always heard it from the standpoint of the pharmaceutical medicines are really inspired by Western medicine.
Mm-hmm.
And they just, of course, and I think that's where I hear that most of the issue is that once the big pharmaceutical companies want to, instead of making actual, according to some documentary I've seen as well, instead of them actually really using a real plant, they're going to make a synthetic version or a compound version that can be, toxic to our bodies in the long run. But so that's where I kind of think I don't know enough about either one like that, honestly, but that's kind of how I've always heard it, where that's where the harm is coming. And of course, we got any listeners that are experts and y'all want to put some comments in the comment box and share any kind of information, that'd be great as well. But that's how I've always heard the comparison of the two. It's the chemically, obviously, from the big farm.
I'm anxious to know later on, as we're going on with this episode, what are some things that y'all have taken or changed up that's been proven to work for yourselves? I got two things I know works. So
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? To be funny, not to be funny, Mike. I was thinking about that to get into that right now because of the fact that with the question of Western medicine or the natural holistic method,
did we even answer that?
It's just what's your preference?
Oh,
It's
okay.
just what's your preference. For example, for me, and maybe like most people who are listening, I just want to get the quickest result. I don't care what it is. I want this pain to go away. I want this issue to stop, whatever it is, because sometimes you can get desperate enough to say, look, man, what you got? What pill?
Right.
What I need to do? What I need to rub on me or whatever just to make this go away. So the fact of the matter is you need to get something. If you need to get something done, whether it be holistically or Western medicine, you need to get into it. You need to check into it, do your research, but don't just think that it'll just go away. Because as men, we try to be tough and you say, God, we know many men in my family that they have done stuff for years and years and years, and it was to their detriment. So you just can't, just tough it out forever. You don't have to. If you can check into something, like if you could do some research, don't be embarrassed about it because somebody, believe me, knows something to do to give you some help.
Yeah.
So
and you're right. It's like depending on what you use, what works for you, right? Obviously, you see a doctor, right, and get there, see a primary care doctor or an expert that can give you to break down what you're using, right? So you definitely want to see a doctor if you're trying the different medicines, even some Western ones, whoever you're buying it from, they should be able to explain to you what's really going on with this product and what it should do for your body. Because it's funny, as you're talking, I'm thinking about how, and just it speaks to how amazing our body is. There's two types of pains we deal with. We got the acute pain and you got chronic pain. So the acute pain is going to be something you slam my hand with a hammer, I'm gonna feel it right now. You know what I'm saying? Chronic pain is what a lot of us deal with. It's just ongoing pain or uncomfort or discomfort that we just get accustomed to and our body get used to it. And so it just becomes chronic. So it stays with us, right? And so our brain is so smart and our body is so smart that, we have multiple pains going on throughout our body, but this one researcher said that if their brain was actually allow you to feel everything going on in your body, you would probably go crazy. You couldn't handle the pain. So it chooses what it wants you to feel. So that's why sometimes you can have your hand hurt and then you feel like you got that, now your knee starting to hurt. Yeah. That's just because you have different chronic pains going on. I know we're going to get into, again, self-care later, but that's all go to as well as what you're saying, finding a product that works for you. Because a lot of times Western medicine sometimes get categorized with just being topical, meaning it's just only really kind of maybe mask it, but may not necessarily heal it all the time. Right. So, but I think something I want to put out there too, just being in a personal service field myself, as long as I've been in it, is I definitely want to tell men and women, anyone listening, that, listen to your body. That's those signs that you come in with or you come encounter with, and you go see an expert, right? Something that's not right, you need to go see somebody. Right. So. And
Mike, this guy, somebody, he wasn't prepared for that question. He had the most information. The most information. Now I got a buddy at work. He lives by the holistic method, and he has, I always joke with him. He always got a pill for this, that, and the third. He's a listener, and I know he'll be listening to this episode. I appreciate that. Shout out to him. But I do like the vibe. I do like the research he puts into it, because this brother has a pill or information on everything in the body that either needs to be healed or is in pain. And I think that's very much something that we should look into, if you have the time, or if not, even if you don't have the time, but it's better to know what you put in your body than randomly putting in something. Yes. Like the doctor says, take this, and you can't even pronounce what's on the prescription. But but it's something holistically speaking, okay, you need to take some seagrass, or you need to take a black seed oil, things of that nature. Build up your immune system. These are the type of things that God put on earth for us. It's already in the earth that we can utilize and build up our immune system, things of that nature. So I think it's very good to do a little research, know what you're doing, know what you're, like you said, Alexander, listen to your body. You can take this Western medicine and all of a sudden have all these reactions. So the doctor said, well, okay, don't take 3 pills, take 2 pills, but you're still having this reaction. So maybe that's not the route to go. So, but you still need to not just be blind, but take your health into consideration, because it's your health. So just because this man said that, get a second opinion, get a third opinion, ask around, ask somebody who knows, who has some background in some holistic methods that can help you out. So I think that would be best to be conscious of that. Don't be blind to it. But the worst thing you can do is ignoring your health to any degree and not doing anything about it. Especially if you have a chronic situation or acute situation, but pay attention to it.
Yes, no doubt. And I will say one more last thing on that would be for somebody like myself, who obviously with pre-existing conditions, I still use the big manufacturers' medicine as well. But I also still use some holistic as well, So I believe it's a balance of the two, because I feel like I respect what the big farm companies do. I respect their research they have done. I believe in the medication. I believe it, and I'm a witness of it, working. But I also know that it's a chemical. You know what I'm saying? Right. So I feel like if I can put that in my body, I owe my body some good nutrients as well. So I try to find a balance in both. So I'm still going to mix some holistic stuff in there with like certain natural oils that are just proven since God, you can't deny olive oil and things of that nature. So as I'm taking those medications, I'm putting in that good stuff too. So that's kind of how I try to look at it, where I'm going to treat my body well both ways, right?
Gotcha. All right, so that touches another point. Do you know your family health history? All right. For example, do you know there's hypertension or sickle cell anemia or cancer or heart issues or whatever runs in your family? Do you know your health history in your family?
Definitely high blood pressure. That's one of the reasons why I don't eat pork. So,
you eat no swine?
No.
Oh man.
Even though I need to,
we're gonna leave that. We're gonna leave that alone. I heard Cat Williams. He had Cat Williams did an interview. He kind of broke down that whole pork myth, but that's a whole nother topic.
Yeah, Cat Williams out of his mind anyway. So one of my favorite comedians, though. But he had lost it about 5 years ago, man. I was like, yo, what's wrong with my man? Fighting kids and all that. Man.
No, he got beat up by a kid. That's what he was doing.
Yeah. I was like, yo, what's up? But definitely
we love you, Cat Williams. Come on the show.
Yeah, shout out Cat Williams.
Definitely, actually, high blood pressure. There've been some traces of cancer popping up. So, it could start, you never know, man. It could start with me in certain things. It could start with my parents. It could have started before them. So it's good to let anybody know once you're passing that down, but definitely high blood pressure. Some traces of cancer has been popping up recently. I ain't gonna name the family members. I don't want them listening like, yo, you put my business out.
And for the record, high blood pressure doesn't have I know we always get stuck with just being in the black community, but white people got high blood pressure too.
Definitely,
that's true.
Definitely, and I want to break this curse, man. Is like some of my family members weight issues, and it usually catches up with a lot of us when we get older. Now, I don't know if that could be hereditary or it could be, we're just not active enough. So that's one mold I want to break and lead by example. I don't even want to tell people, in my family that, hey, you got to get control of that. I just want to lead by example. And you lead by example. That's one thing I noticed. You start getting in shape, and I'm sure El Boog knows this. They'll start asking questions, like,
what you doing?
Yeah, what you doing?
Yeah, what you got going on? Yeah.
Well, that could be a good thing, and that could be a bad thing, because, like you were saying earlier, depending on how your approach, are you doing it naturally? Are you doping up? So you would hope that people notice that.
And all three of us, some might go to the gym more than others, but all of us have seen that dude that we like, hey, that dude on something. They all red and all jacked. And I'm like, all right, man, you doping, bro.
I knew a guy that said that he had told me one of my actual former client told me that if you ain't doping, you ain't on that level. So as far as he's concerned, he said it was about how much you dope. That's what he
said. Sounds like a dope. That's what that sounds like. Doing all that.
But I never found that impressive personally. You know what I'm saying? I would rather do it naturally.
Yeah, because I've heard that before too. When guys say they all on something. And
now, so the flip side to that, and I guess I'll come back. I'll ask it next. I was going to ask the flip side to that. Well, I want to get y'all thoughts on like having any kind of surgery, but I'll go ahead and answer the first question about the family health history. Did you want that, or do you want me to jump on it?
Well, let me just throw up my family health history. Hypertension runs in my family. I know for certain. As black people say, we got some family. We got the sugar. We got the sugar. So sugar diabetes runs in the family. So
for those that don't know, diabetes code.
Yeah,
sugar.
For those who don't know, sugar. You got the sugar, baby. So that runs in my family. But because of that situation, it's helpful for you. You need to tell that to your doctor. You need to tell that to whoever you're dating or married to, so they'll know if you run into a situation. Oh, okay, well, this is a emergency situation. I know his history. I know what to tell somebody. A paramedic to kind of get it. Or he's allergic to shellfish. I'm allergic to shellfish, for example. I don't carry an EpiPen, but somebody who's going to be with me, it'll be vital information for them to know that in case I can't breathe.
Yeah, it's funny. Well, not funny, but my homegirl, shout out to my homegirl, Courtney. She told me today that she has a shellfish reaction. So I'm like, wow.
Yes.
what? I didn't know. I know people that have the issues with seafood alone and all of that. So, but like you said, yeah, you definitely need to let your doctors know. I mean, they're there to help you. That trace of history is, man, it's something, man. But I just want, and I'm sure y'all feel the same way, that you want to see if you can stop certain issues from passing on from you
Right.
and break curses and
Exactly. Yeah. So for me, so got to save me for last. I'm going to run it down. Let me stop.
yeah.
No. So I found the same thing. Hypertension. The high blood pressure. Of course, the sugar. Got the sugar runs in the family for family members. But for me directly, it's mainly been hypertension and like I would say, heart issue, just by way of a condition that is hereditary. It's called Marfan's.
No.
Marfan's disorder or syndrome. Marfan's, for those that don't know, it's a syndrome that is it's a genetic disorder that affects the body connective tissue, and so it can affect many parts of the body, including, which is most important, is the aorta. So basically, what it can cause is your aorta muscle to or the connective tissue to basically swell. So what that can cause is fluid to come into, fall back into your heart, and it can create heart failure. So it could be corrected by surgery using either a mechanical valve or either a, they call it pig valves, synthetic valves, just to be able to monitor or basically to save the aortic valve. The thing is, it's a condition that basically with you for life. So you have to constantly keep your aorta monitored to make sure that it doesn't rip that. But I got a mechanical one. So basically, my doctor told me my heart will keep ticking till I die. So it'll keep going.
Can I plug in something real quick to the audience? And I know this can be kind of touchy, but if you are adopted, it might be it's up to you, and I can understand people have different views. It might be important that you trace your family roots to see what health issues you may have as well. I just wanted to plug that in there.
And that's so true. And you're right, because when you adopt it, you're thinking you're going to get that parent's genetics, and you need to find your exactly. And so with the Marfans, and also I want to give a shout out to my beautiful giants out there. I call ourselves giants because we all long, tall. So that's usually a trait that come along with Marfans, is that we typically got long features, very tall. There's a few celebrities that got Marfans. Matter of fact, Slim from Cash Money. That's why you don't see him a lot. He's in the background.
Yeah.
For Cash Money, he actually is a Marfans. He's actually an advocate for Marfans. John Ritter has been considered to have Marfans related or issues when he had his heart failure issue. Matter of fact, his foundation still funds and supports the Marfans Foundation, which
very
is out
funny
there.
Man, very funny man.
Yeah, love Three's Company.
Man, classic.
You know what I'm saying? Matter of fact, one of the most recent, and there's some other Marfans out there represented, but as for when it comes to professional sports, y'all may remember Isaiah Austin. You remember him from back in 2014? Got drafted to the NBA, came out of Oregon. They gave him an honorary draft.
Yes, I remember that. Yeah. And they didn't catch it. They didn't catch his until he got to physical.
He had his physical, and that's when they found out about it. He went back later on, 2 years later, started playing overseas and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. The thing is, most of the time when it comes to, and obviously this is something personal for me because, passing it on to your children and things of that nature. And, I play sports, so, I played with it, but, the whole thing when you have it, you just got to be able to monitor your body. So if you're extremely tired, you got to be able to stop. So, so I think I heard when he went to play overseas and stuff like that, he had a control of his time and his minutes. So he was able to stop when he needed to stop. So, because when you have that condition, you got to remember your valves are sensitive. It could be overworked even harder with the condition. So you want to be careful with it. But with that being said, any kind of heart conditions, you want to definitely, listeners, get that checked out. But yeah, that's my family history there. So, but we praying on it that we're gonna we're going to kill that curse, and by my kids with science and research,
Gotcha.
we're going to defeat Marfan's at some point. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I mean, your wife working in the field she's in, man, y'all can
That's
combine
right.
the mad scientists going on, the
That's
professor
right.
and the mad scientists up in the house.
That's what I'm saying. So shout out to all my Marfan's heart folks out there. You know. So.
Alexander, you said you had a question you wanted to rewind. You want to get into that question you had?
Oh yeah. So we had talked about since y'all was talking about we were talking about the steroids and getting swole. What are your opinions? Because I know women may, I know they cool with it, but sometimes I hear men kind of shy off from. What about having surgery, like removing, getting what's they call it, gastric bypass, stuff like that?
Oh,
what's your thoughts?
stuff like that?
Yeah. What's your thoughts on that?
I feel some have to do what they have to do. Just know the risk. Me personally, I don't want to do it. I want to do it old fashioned way, but some people have to really do what they have to do. I mean, going back to the medicine, man, medicine can blow some people up, man. A steroid shot can blow you up. So you just have to do what you have to do. But I think at least my advice is I would think at least try, natural first. And if it doesn't work, then I can understand. But I'm not knocking it. It's your body, it's your life.
Mm-hmm.
It's up to you. Just know the risk, though, because some of those surgeries do have risk. And a female friend of mine just told me if she could do it all over again, she never would have got her surgery.
Wow.
Yeah.
I think I see the benefit of it. I even thought about it myself, but it's the whole fact of already being cut up before, and and you don't want to get cut up any more than you need to. But also too, like you said, just the risk of it. I mean, I know some people are very successful with it, and that's great for them. And anybody does, I definitely check with your doctor.
Yes.
So.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm with you guys on that point because of depending on, let's say if you are like morbidly obese, is that something you need to consider?
Yes.
Are you doing it? What reasons are you doing it for? Because you weren't trying to fit into a bikini or into a suit, or are you trying to just look a certain way? You got to think about your health. That's what this whole show is about, is your health. So you want to do it for the right reasons. Of course, people who are doing it, there's a lot of success out there. There's a lot of success out there.
Yes.
But at the same time, that's an extreme. I think, in my opinion, that'll be your last option for me.
Yes.
If I had to get to that situation, because I've been up and down with weight, but I learned my body enough I know how to put on weight. I know how to get rid of weight. But at the same token, I had went through stress and lost weight uncontrollably.
Yeah.
People was like, "Yo, I was cracked out. What's wrong with you?" But that kind of goes back to the show we had about mental health. So I got my mental health back in tune. Your mind and body works together. Keep that in
mind.
mind.
Listeners, please go listen to our mental health show.
That's back to episode 1 and 2. He's going back, and then let you know that does go. Your mind and body, when it comes to your health, goes hand in hand, because there's a lot of people be in the hospital. When they mentally give up, their body shuts down. They consciously, mentally give up. You can fight through certain situations depending on what it is, and your body will listen to your mind, and your mind will listen to your body. But we got to understand, you got to be in tune in order to make that happen. You got to be focused. If you wanted to make it happen, you can. But at the same time, like we're talking about the gastric bypass, for example, I can't knock it. If you needed to save your life, I'm all for it.
Yeah. I've seen both results. I've seen it work out very well for people, and they stayed in that gym and they stayed eating right. And I've seen it work out very bad. I mean, my homegirl, she's been in the hospital. Man, she's probably had that about for 2 years. And man, wow. I swear, man, she's been in and out of the hospital ever since, man. So
that's also with that being said, and not to cut you off, man, research our doctors too.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Research
Yes,
your doctors, man. You know,
definitely.
we got all this technology, we got all this information. You know, I know you can't believe everything online, but you got those reliable sources. Well, at least some in the common area as well. But you got those WebMDs and different
Hmm.
sites like that, or American
Yeah,
Heart, so different association that you can go and check some of these doctors, because you know they out here tearing some people up too, man. You know,
yeah,
hurting
man.
people.
And you definitely, like you say too, you got to do your research and you got to um, listen to the reviews and do your own research. Because some people be like, I don't like my doctor. He told me I need to cut out eating cheese. So, you know, bad rating. You know, so
So 1 star.
And
yeah,
I'm more, and I guess I made that clear, more of like their finding their rating as from the standpoint from a reputable place, like maybe surgeries or, you know, actual, not necessarily like, no, I would say
you
patients'
know,
complaints, you know.
you know what's a good resource though? Ask nurses, man.
Oh
Ask
yeah.
nurses.
Yeah. Nurses know those doctors.
They will
Yeah.
let you know. Oh, that's a good doctor right there. That's a
Mhm.
you know.
Matter of fact, man, funny you said that. I had a nurse tell me about one of my doctors. I'm gonna leave him nameless, but I ain't going to no more anyway. But I had a doctor with a nurse. The nurse told me to my, yeah, as soon as he leave here today, he's gonna be drunk all weekend. I said, God, nobody. I said,
Yeah,
this
don't want
cat
them.
is, man.
Oh man.
One time he told me to my, man, you need to stay away from Golden Corral and all these places. All they do is just pour salt in there. You got to monitor your salt, you know, for your high blood pressure, and just monitor yourself. You can't go there. You can't stay away from these places. Give me this long speech about it. Like, yeah, doc, you right. Wasn't even about a week or two later. I just happened to be going to Golden Corral anyway.
He in
Who
there.
I see in Golden Corral was his whole family killing it. I said, this guy is, man.
Hypocrite.
Yo,
Yeah, I look right down and say, hey, doc. He told me, hey. He said,
let me ask y'all a question.
All right.
In your lifetime, what's been your personal biggest health scare or a life changing health scare?
mine's open heart surgery. That's
Yeah,
it.
yeah,
I died and came back. So
yeah.
Mm. Well, I haven't had nothing as big as that. I think the scariest thing I've had health wise was probably
and I say, let me clear that. I don't want people think like, oh my God. And I said, let me clear that up.
Yeah.
And my references is that my heart was stopped and operated by a machine while they worked, and then till they,
Yeah.
so I want to make it clear that I don't want people to think I'm up here like Tupac or something. I gotta come back.
well,
So,
like I said, I wasn't nowhere near like that, but I have asthma, and I've had a couple asthma attacks that I ain't gonna lie, I thought it was gonna take me out for the
Oof.
count. You know, that was kind of in my younger years, because I didn't know how to regulate it because I was still trying to run and do everything nonstop. You know, I was seeing spots and falling to my knees and chest. I mean, my lungs patting my back. You know, I didn't know how to just say I can't play no more ball today or I just need to sit down. I was just running and running and running. But I think that was the scariest issues I've had with as like some bad asthma attacks. But I don't think anything else. I couldn't top Alexander. And I ain't saying I'm trying to top that, but I
Yeah.
haven't had any surgeries in order, at all in my life.
and I want to make it clear too that I'm thankful, and so I'm thankful to be here, and and I just want to make it clear too. I definitely just share these things, so just for the topic, wanting any kind of to my mainly views. I know we all we family here, and somebody views. I don't think people think I'm trying try to pull a sympathy card or one of things of that nature, but because I had a wonderful life and still have a wonderful life. So I'm thankful for everything that
I
I
had a great life.
even with the tragedies, because like you just saying, this life change for me. It was a life changing moment for me, and I just consider it a blessing, because I wouldn't be where I am now without that experience. So good or bad, man,
Yeah.
you're here.
Mine was definitely when I broke my ankle. And it ain't like the NBA basketball players who can get the reconstructive
Yeah.
surgery and come back like Kevin Durant, still dropping 40, 50 points on people.
Got that money.
I've never been able to since then like run well again. I can't walk like a lot of long distances. That's why if I'm doing the gym, I got to use the elliptical or the bike.
Mhm.
it played a major role in my weight gain, because I'm not,
Mm.
I used to play ball a lot too. So
Yeah.
all of that played it. And then believe it or not, man, my acid reflux, man, it sometimes
Yeah, I've had some problems with that. Yeah, I know you're talking about with that.
man, you can feel like you can if you got it real bad, I'm sure El probably know, man. It could feel like you having a heart attack, man.
Yeah, it's a burning.
Mm.
It's a burning sensation.
Yes, it's painful, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, I never experienced that.
Yeah, I haven't had an issue
I heard
with
it was
it.
brutal.
I haven't had an issue with it for a while, but I think a lot of
Me
that has been
either.
done with my dietary changes.
Mm.
Then not eating at past a certain time at night is
Yes.
key.
Mm.
Drink a lot of
'Cause you-
water.
A lot of water, obviously. Water's always key, no matter what. How you
Yes.
look at it,
Yes.
water's always key. That's just something put down on earth. The stuff that we we polluted with alcohol. That's
I tell you, remember I seen you that picture when I saw a 40 of water at Lowe's. I
Right,
thought that
right.
was hot. That's dope. A 40. It got a 40. It was a 40, but I had to see that picture. It was a 40 bottles of just water. Just
Right.
it says
That's
40.
dope, man.
That was
I saw that. I wish you had that for our boy back in the day. You know what I'm talking about too.
Yes, sir, in the building.
Oh, you
Look, so since we're
Not the
talking
boy
about
that-
weight,
Okay, I ain't gonna say
but
his
since
name.
we're talking about weight, I had a question for you. Your BMI. Do you know what your BMI is? Your body mass
I haven't-
index.
I haven't did in a while, but I know I'm close to that obese place. Yeah,
Okay.
not overly obese. Now, ladies, don't think you see me and be like,
No, you know what?
Everybody plugging himself out here.
yeah. I don't want y'all to be like, well, let me just check for El Bub then.
But you know what? The reason why I asked that question too is this, because as much as you guys give me props for being in shape and things of that nature, my BMI, I ain't gonna give you what the number is. It says I'm obese. So
Wow.
you know what I'm saying? So
Yeah, I was gonna talk about that too.
right.
Yeah,
So you can't
yeah.
just stick by that number thinking that, okay, I got this number. I'm not morbidly obese. It's quote unquote that it says I'm obese because of my height and my weight. Now
Mhm.
you also got to take in consideration, some certain body types is going to, carry different, because everybody on this group right here is 6 feet and over.
Right,
Obviously, so we all,
Right.
I know for certain we're 200 plus. That's a given.
Yes.
right.
All right. So now who looks like what, or how do you carry that? I
Right.
can say for certain, these, you brothers, no homo, good looking, tall
Right.
brothers, hold yourself together well. And now your personal preference of how much you weigh and how much you don't weigh, that's up to you. But I know for certain that the BMI should not be a restriction saying, well, I know I'm this number right here is dictate. Don't let it dictate how you feel, because your personal health is dictated how you feel about yourself. That's what
Right.
health should always be. When you
Yes.
look in the mirror, how do you feel about yourself? You got to be
Right.
honest about that, though. No, you got to be honest about that.
That's
If
real.
something is out of the ordinary that you say yourself, like, I put on some pants, but my gut is hanging past my zipper. Do you want to live with that,
Right.
or do you feel good about yourself? Now, if you do, you do. But if,
Heavy D. Heavy D.
Heavy D.
Boy, love in the house.
they
Biggie.
love it.
You know
A
what
lot,
I'm
a lot
saying?
of cats carry themselves very well. They had a lot of love
Earl
from
Levert.
Yeah, all these cats. But if you feel good about yourself and you're healthy enough to continue, your lifestyle. Well, Heavy D died of a blood. What was
Died
it?
of blood. Yeah,
Blood
he died.
clot.
He not blood clot.
A blood clot.
Yeah.
Wasn't he on
Gerald
the
Levert.
plane?
He was on the
He
plane. I
gonna.
believe. I believe he was
don't know.
traveling. I think
I know he was
Gerald Levert
traveling, but I
died
can't
something for health related. Also, not quite sure what it
Yeah.
was, but it was health related. Of course, being overweight obviously puts more strain and stint on your heart and things of that nature. So you want to keep a
Yes.
balanced weight. So don't let that BMI, that number, dictate you, but let it be a guideline. Let it be a starting point. So
You're
okay,
right.
let's say your number is up. Let's say it's 26, and you got it down to 24. You should feel good about that because you're lowering it.
Right. Right.
Because you're not going to grow anymore height wise. So the only thing you
Right.
can do is go, how I can maintain my body weight and go from there. So you
Yeah,
some key numbers to keep in mind. Key numbers to keep in mind: your BMI. Also,
I did my BMI. I was like, I'm glad you, because that's my first time. I think I've done it, and I don't even remember last time I even did the BMI. So it was kind of fun to to go ahead and,
Mhm.
do it. And it was interesting. The same thing, of course, overweight as well. Or matter of fact, obese actually. But the funny thing is that, of course, me, I'm always going to keep doing some research on everything. But like you said, El Boog, that it don't put into account, your muscle versus fat,
Right.
and muscles in the tissue.
That's
So one thing I want to
great info.
tell any listeners that's going to do the BMI or check your BMI, because you should. So I think El Boog, that's a great suggestion to check your BMI and use that as a gauge for me. It was inspirational for me because it was like, all right, I saw, even though I wound up playing with the numbers and I started putting my ideal weight that I would want to lose, I'm trying to lose, then I would see that I was falling in that, they call that average range or whatever, normal range. And I just use it as inspiration, because one thing that I did notice that, you got to be careful with that, because it could be misleading too, because you can, like El Boog, we already know, no homo, fit, very well fit. Like I'm not surprised you was obese, right? But, muscle makes a difference versus fat and tissue. So you got to, I don't know much about, I guess I'm assuming you can still do BMI in person with someone, I'm assuming, right? Could you have it like professionally done versus like cause I did mine online.
I did mine
so
online.
I didn't know.
I did mine online.
Yeah. So I just wonder if there's experts out there, and maybe somebody that listeners that may know that can leave that information in the comments as well. But I'm pretty sure you can, I would say, when you want to really truly get your true BMI, I would think you need to go see an expert into doing that, or a specialist that does that can actually measure what's going to really be fat and things of that nature, so you truly know. But you can use it as, like you're saying, El Boog, as for to at least get you started, something to focus on.
Yeah, and that's definitely something you want to know. You want to know your whole history. So it's your health. So you got to invest the time into your health. You're going to get out of it what you put into it.
And not only just for looking good, y'all. I mean, man, I want to feel good, man.
That's it.
You
That's
know what
it's
I'm
all
saying?
about. Because you have to feel good first before you can even look good.
Yes.
Excellent. All right, so we're gonna get into the thick of it now. Now, working out. Now, this is something that we gotta keep in mind as older men. Now, even if you're younger, older, whoever's listening, how often do you work out?
For me, I go. You want me to go? Or you go?
Either one of y'all.
Okay.
All right. So me, I do 5, sometimes 6 days a week. 6 days of the week, I do at least 30 minutes of cardio. I just started this past year. I'm going on a year now. I'm going on a year. I've been kind of, I'll be on and off sometime. But actually, for me, it's interesting about this question. It kind of sparked something that I thought about at the beginning. Actually, COVID really helped me it gave me the opportunity to get more serious about my own personal health during the COVID. Not because I was scared of COVID from that standpoint. It was just that I was at home. So I was blessed to be able to work from home. And I was like, I could go and take advantage of this time, because I know my body enough that I got to give myself a jump start in order to be able to stay consistent when it comes to working out. And so I was like, man, I'm going to take this time. And so really what helped me was, I'll go step back a little bit. I had a graduation for one of my classes, and I was fortunate to make the news. I'm going to leave it there.
Yeah, I remember you.
Right? And I remember seeing myself on the news looking like a robot. I say, this cat is ridiculous. And at that point, I had been at the house for a little over about 2 months or so, just chilling, enjoying being at the house, right? I look at myself here I am on TV. I'm looking like a robot up in there, like a Tin Man up in there. I was like, that's cat is, man. At least the Tin Man from the Wiz. I try to move a little bit with it, though. You know what I'm saying? I said, I look ridiculous right now. And so my motivation now for working out, and I don't know if this will inspire anyone else, but for me, when I saw that, it was like, you know what? I just want to work out to be moving. I just need to be moving. You know what I'm saying? Like, I got to move to stay healthy, just to be around again for my family. Just so when I saw that, I was like, man, I got to move around. And so what I was able to do was, after dropping my kids off at school, I wound up having, an hour window or so before I needed to start work, that I just started off walking, and I was walking outside. And then I realized how much I enjoyed just being outside and walking. I would just put in the podcast, I would listen to Guilty by Association, you know what I'm saying? But
Shout out to
listen to
Associations.
but so I'm listening to podcasts and just walking and just being out with walking, nature, God, being able to have some time to reflect. And that was just such a blessing and to have that opportunity to do that. And so that's what jump started me, just walking. I realized, like, when I was walking, I paid attention to my posture. I was making sure I was looking up. Don't look down, looking up at the trees, just to make sure I'm watching my body mechanics as I was walking. And then eventually it led to, in a matter of months, then I just started jogging. I was doing 2 miles. And then I just started jogging it, starting off with half, then the whole thing. And then, that was one of the reasons why I didn't want to come back to work, because I was like, man, I had a routine. I was loving it.
Gotcha.
And so I had to. So when I knew I was transitioning back to work, probably I'll say 2 months ahead of time, I just started, going on YouTube, collecting my own little library of different, because I do have some equipment here at the house. I have the recumbent bike, of course, I also have elliptical as well, little machine weights. And so I just started finding, thanks to technology, thanks to YouTube, I just started making collections of different, coaches, because I need that motivation for me in the morning. So I just started finding 30-minute, 45 minutes, 20 minutes, 15-minute classes that are coaches that are giving these free workout routines, right? Obviously check with your doctor for those that may have any kind of, physical issues. Make sure you check with your doctor before you do any workout routine. But I just started collecting them. So I started preparing myself mentally, because like we said, it's also mental, right? And I just transitioned over to doing the recumbent bike right now. It's been, I've been doing it now for about 4 months now. And I got a coach, Kim, older white lady. She gives me the business, you know what I'm saying? And we do 30 minutes. Sometimes I do 20 minutes. I'm in a rush. I get to, running behind, getting the kids together. I do 30 minutes, and we do it in this interval training, cardio interval training. So it's involving squats and riding the bike and, doing the bands as well while we ride. And so, that's the main thing, keeping your body moving, different parts moving at the same time. And I'm loving it, man. So Coach Kim, she know who you are on YouTube. Check out.
All right.
And so that's kind of my routine. And I do, and also throw like 50 push-ups in there. More right now, just doing more incline with it, dropping down. And then if I do miss a day, I at least do 50 push-ups for my routine.
Gotcha.
So that's, I don't know if that's L Book approved, but that's all I got, man.
There you go. Like
I do 4 days a week. I do like 30 minutes of cardio, and then I'll lift for like I need to up that up, because I know people be looking at me at the gym like, dang, you done already? But I do 30
well,
minutes.
All we need is 30 minutes a day, they say.
I do 30 minutes of cardio and 30 minutes of lifting. I was doing 1 day working out, 1 day actually just walking, doing cardio, but I had to chill with the walking, man. I only want to do it in tracks now, man, because we got a trail over by my house, man. I get to walking, I'm like, yeah, I'm on the road, I don't walk a good 2 miles, then I look back, I'm like, man, I gotta come back. You done lost sense of how far you done got, man. You like, man, then you like, oh shoot. And it might be more of an uphill too.
Yeah,
so it's like, man, but lately though, I've been working on a project with a job, man, that's been requiring me to like work like 12 hours days, and we're going through a big merger. So I kind of fell off the last like week and a half, but I'm back on it. And that's the thing, man. That's where and I want to let everybody know, man, that's where you're going to be challenged at. I have no problem going in the gym, working out, doing some cardio. The challenge is when you've had a bad day at work, or you've had a late night and you got to get up in the morning. That's when you're mentally challenged. Yeah, man. And that's when that's what separates.
Well, exactly. But you're getting that juggle in that, where at the same time too, you try to, at least me, I try to listen to, what doctors say,
Yeah.
and, your body say. That at the same time, the flip side to it, you need rest too.
Yeah.
See what I'm
You
saying?
definitely
Your body need to recover for whatever those 12-hour days or whatever you're doing. And, remember, I'm coming from a career where I used to stand 10, 12 hours a day. You know what I'm saying? So definitely wear and tear from that. But something I did want to say before I forget was that one of my again, going back to family's inspiration when it comes to health, with for me during COVID, I think we probably mentioned this in a previous podcast, but that it gave me a chance to reconnect with my kids, spend, get some updated quality time with my kids. And that became motivation for me was my son, because I would go out and play. I saw the difference when I started, walking, and then I started running, and then I even with Coach Kim working out with her, that when I go out and play with my son, I wasn't struggling to play 21. Now we running 3 or 4 games. You know what I'm saying? And I'm out running him. So I'm like, I'm seeing some gains.
Right.
So those things are that I saw is working, right? And I was like, that keeps me motivated, because then it's also making him happy, and I could be spending quality time with him, right? Because that's one of those challenges we have is being, at least for me, being an older parent with such a young child, that you don't want to not have those memories. Like, at least I would want him to have the memories of playing ball with his dad, and, playing ball with his dad in the decent, even though I joke with him, I show him some old high school pictures, like, yo, this is how I used to be, son. Like, but right about now, I'm just laying it up. But, it's been about so many pounds earlier, I've been in your nuts in your face. That's exactly how I talk to him. Y'all don't like it, I'm sorry. When he on the court, dad's out the window.
Yeah, make a boy into a man. My dad, he was a beast on the basketball court. I ain't gonna lie, my dad was 5'5", but he was a beast on the basketball court. All I kept hearing was, who got little man? Who got little man? That's what I kept hearing. But just to let you know, Mike, the mind and the body, once again, like I've walked into a gym and walked out 5 minutes later because I just wasn't feeling it.
Wow.
Like, I was like, you know what? This ain't working for me.
Wow.
So it does. It happens to everybody. Now, talking about the gym, I haven't been in the gym in 2 years. I work out at home. So my routine is kind of simple. My work gives me a lot of physical activity because I walk 3 to 5 miles a day. So that's 5 days a week, and maybe some more. Then in addition to that, I do just calisthenics. Thus far, as what I've been doing.
And Book, that's one thing I do miss when I was downtown. Like, I miss that walking.
Yeah,
that was a big. When I look back at some years back, and me and the wife talked about, like, what's happening here. I was like, I don't see. I'm not eating more, and this and the third.
Right.
But it was those steps that I was missing.
Yeah, and I monitor my steps. Yeah, it's good if you have something on a Fitbit or on your phone, you have something to monitor your steps. You want to try if you can possibly get 10,000 a day or more. I get that and then some. But that's not always going to be the case for everybody. You can't. Maybe like you're working from home or something like that. But my routine, I work out at home, and sometimes, Mike, I got to put a mentally in my head like I had to go to work today. I got to work out today. I just come home. When I get out the bed in the morning, I drop and get 50. That's 50 okay. Every morning. I just do that it's like clockwork. But everybody's got to find.
Yeah, just for the record, you inspired me. That's why I've been doing the 50 just for you. I've been doing the 50 things. I was gonna let you know when we were preparing for the episode a couple weeks back. I heard that and I was like, I'm gonna add that to my routine. So appreciate you.
All right. Well, then we gotta inspire one another. That's another thing, because in addition to that, for example, I'm down with my brother and a couple of my boys. We on this group chat. And we push each other. What you got today? We'll just throw in 50. That means I did 50. If somebody said I did 50, I did 50. Then there's those days I said 0. What? I ain't give you nothing.
Well, and actually, something that I'm trying to push my son on, and I still keep, obviously he also has Marfan's as well. So of course we monitor and be careful as well. But one thing I've come to learn about when it comes, this just my observation when it comes to working out and things like that, you got to start early. Start young. The younger the better, to develop a habit.
Yeah, ingrain it.
And for me, I hated push-ups, man. I hated push-ups even when I was younger. I just hated push-ups, man.
Yeah.
I would do all leg work, everything else, because in my mind, I was trying to jump out the gym, right? Because I was a ball player. So my mind was always focused on legs. I used to hate doing any kind of upper body stuff. You know what I'm saying? I regret that because then when I got older, got heavier, you know what I'm saying? It's now become even more of a chore versus what I try to tell my son, like, yo, look, you need to get a hang, because you're going to be a giant too, but you need to get a hang of it now. You know what I'm saying? Because, my cousin Mike used to,
Right.
But he'll drop to 100 every day. That was nothing. You know what I'm saying? But and he was also as well had more fans. But it's definitely a mental and start early. I guess I just want to throw that out.
Start early and also mix it up. So, for example, like push-ups, like I love doing push-ups. That's no big deal to me. I'll do a couple hundred push-ups like it's nothing. Not to brag, but that's just part of my routine.
Right.
But what you can think about, you got cardio, calisthenics, you got weightlifting, bike riding, swimming, yoga, boxing.
Yeah.
Get involved in something, all of them, a mix of them. Do something different. Shake up the routine, because your body does have muscle memory. So you keep doing the same thing over and over and over again, your body's it's going to plateau. So you want to do things to kind of push yourself. You don't want to hurt yourself. You don't want to have a heart attack out on that trail by yourself, Mike. If you 3 miles down and it start raining and you're struggling to get back, and you already got a bad ankle, right? Yeah. So now you're slipped in the mud.
Boy, I look back and be like, good God, I'm out in the forest, man.
Hey, Mike, but you know what? Real talk, I just had one the other day, man. I called myself, I had a little time. The kids was on at grandma's for the week for vacation on their break right now out of school. And I said, I had a moment to go catch a walk. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then my usual path I usually go, one of the neighbors decided to have his dogs loose. They on them invincible fences. And I don't trust them, because one time I did it. One time I walked past there. I don't know if there was a fence there or not. All I know, that dog was at my ankles. You know what I'm saying? He ain't do nothing. He came close. He just kept, he stopped barking. It was just there. But it was funny because I had a choice. I saw the dog. They ran to the road. So I had a choice. Either I'm a man up and just go ahead and walk past and see what's going to happen, or turn around and go upstairs and go ride his bike with Coach Kim. And you know what I did? I said, you know what? I don't feel like challenging my manhood today. I just turned around, went upstairs, and rode the bike with Coach Kim. I ain't feel like messing with the dogs out there.
So know your limits.
Know your limits.
So keep in mind, fellas, with our age and whatever let's say pre-existing conditions we might have, or whatever the case may be, no matter what we do, is going to be fueled by what we're eating and what we're drinking. So that's another part, a key part to keep in mind. What are we eating? What are we drinking? Are we in excess of whatever the case may be? Because my diet is not 100% healthy. It's not, and I don't have, I'm not on a strict diet, but I also know if I wanted to gain weight, I know how to gain weight. If I wanted to lose weight, I know how to lose weight. Simple things you can do by cutting out starches. Let's say you eat everything brown, but not white. Keep that as a rule of thumb. Everything brown, but not white. Like white bread, white rice, white anything, flour, cut that all out. Go all brown. You'll see a difference in your body. You'll see a difference in your weight. Sugars.
So you say no gray pieces? No, Chief Rock ain't gonna be able to like that.
Well,
no gray pieces.
To each their own. To each their own.
Shout out to Chief Rocker.
Chief Rocker, if you're listening, I know you're listening. Shout out Chief Rocker. Inside joke.
Hey, I'm glad you brought up diet, because right now I'm on the CDC website, and I'm looking at the 10 most causes of death of non-Hispanic Black males. Number 1 is heart disease. It's 23.7%. Number 2 is cancer. 3, unintentional injuries. 4 is homicide. I thought that might be a little bit. 5.
Will unintentional be like car accidents or something?
I'm not sure. I'd have to. That's what I would think it would be, like car accidents. 4 is homicide. 5 is stroke. 6 is diabetes. 7, chronic lower respiratory diseases. 8, kidney. 9, I don't know what this is. Septicemia. Have you heard of that?
I don't know that. No,
I don't know. And 10 is hypertension. I would think hypertension would be a little bit further up, but
Well, we
looking
said
at
earlier, we said earlier, they got a lot of medicine out there now that helps monitor that hypertension, that could reduce it. Yeah.
so looking at heart disease, which is 23.7%, and cancer, which is 20.2%, it's letting us know, man, it's a lot to do with our diets, man.
Yeah.
It's a lot to do with the diets.
Yeah. And I know, I guess we segueing into the eating and drinking habits, and that reminds me of something that like I said, my coach, I'm claiming her, Coach Kim, she always starts her, her exercises talking about when, people ask all the time about losing weight and about dieting and this, that, third. She pretty much was mimicking, or just pretty much hangs on the word of, what's that fitness guru, Jack LaLanne. I guess he had some of y'all may not. Some of y'all may
Jack LaLanne.
I know Jack.
Apparently, so apparently he had this saying where he was saying, like, think of it as, working out is the king, dieting is the queen, but together they make a kingdom. So that was like a saying that they got to be together in order to have the kingdom. So just think about it that way. So it's like you got to have a balance of both, right? So eating right as well as still have a balance of working out too.
Definitely.
Right. So
definitely, because keep in mind, if you there's a saying that goes, abs are made in the kitchen. So if you're trying to get ripped, actually it starts in your diet. If that's a goal you're looking for, I mean, you can do all the crunches you want on earth, but if you're not eating right, you just gotta have a strong core, but you ain't gonna be able to see it. So if you have something you're trying to show off, you're gonna have to eat right, and it's not like it'll be nasty foods. I mean, it's a lot of different things you can look online. You can just do some clean eating. If you're disciplined enough, like if you want to just eat chicken breasts and what's that, sweet potatoes, three to four times a day. Boring as it is, it'll get you right. If you just ate that 3 to 4 times a day, have some a balanced snack in between, like some nuts or some salad. Sounds boring. I don't do that.
Well, sweet potatoes are not that bad though.
No,
actually,
sweet potatoes, they're good. I mean, I've done that in the past.
Butter and cinnamon and sugar on.
But that's when it goes. That's when it goes downhill.
Yeah.
But see, even if you was to do that, and if you was to eat that 3 to 4 times a day, prep your meals and do that meal prepping, you will see a drastic change. I've tried it before. I've seen it. But I'm 50 years old. I ain't in no contest. I just want to have the strength to take care of my kids.
That's right.
And somebody had to run up me the wrong way.
That's maybe to hold your own.
Hold on.
Right.
Like I said, what's your goal? What is your goal? Eating and drinking habits is key. And I don't want to elongate the show, but I wanted to ask you something about and I think kind of summarize the show. After you do all these things, after you check your prostate, after you have a physical, you check your BMI, you got a good workout routine, you want to polish yourself. You want to get yourself.
Well, before we do that though, did we ever answer the question about like share any kind of eating habits that we got? You want to do that real quick?
Well, we can. I don't have an eating habit. I eat everything. It's not good.
But you're a big avid water drinker though. So
I drink plenty of water.
You can plug in that, and
I drink plenty of water, and I say that just to be funny, but I drink plenty of water, but I cut out. I don't eat a lot of red meats. I might eat red meat once a week, if that.
Okay.
I eat a lot of lean meats, turkey and chicken. I eat a lot more vegetables now. I think that's key. You definitely want to put some greenery up in your system. I eat a lot of beans, but that's protein. That's nice. That's just protein. So I mean, actually, beans can be a meal. Mixed with something else. You don't have to have a meat because beans actually is a protein.
Right.
So there's certain things. As I say, I eat everything. I really don't. My sweets are very, very low. I'd rather eat fruit as a sweets rather than eating sweets. But I do have a sweet tooth. Cheesecake is my peanut butter.
Man, I love some cheesecake. It's the weakness. Ain't lying, man.
Yeah, I never been cakes though, but my sweets would be stuff like the hard candies, like the Jolly Ranchers. If I'm gonna do it. But I prefer fruits though over any kind of sweets, ideally. I do a lot of water too.
Yeah.
A lot of water. Then I also, what I do sometimes to change up the water, I would do those like the 0 sugar, 0 calorie kind of flavoring just to switch it up, or either do actually another thing I've been really for the past year is seltzer water, like different flavors seltzer water, because they give you that little bit of fizz. Sometime I gotta, if you want to have feel like you want to have a soda or whatever, and then I don't feel bad when I do drink a soda, or when I do, because I know I drink a lot. I drink a lot more water, various ways to be able to stay hydrated. And one thing I've been doing so interesting, we doing this episode. I know we got to move on and wrap things up, but I did start doing like only been about a week now, doing like intermittent dieting.
A fasting.
Did I say it right? Yeah, but the fasting, intermittent fasting.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm doing like the 12 to 9 range.
Mm-hmm. And
I actually like that. And I'm gonna tell you, well, for me, it works for me only because I find that in the mornings, especially after working out or whatever, I kind of cheat though, because I do take meds. So when I say cheat, I'll have a fruit.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, basically eating a meal. I do a fruit or something in the morning. But for me right now, of course, I see how my body is, as we see time goes on. I'm a little more focused for what I have to do. I have to do a lot of presenting every day for my line of work. So I'm always like presenting every day, every morning. So I find that when I'm fasting like that I'm a little more sharper when I'm presenting, versus the time when I go in when I just finish having breakfast. And I can mean even something light with just a sandwich. I don't feel as sharp as I am when I'm, so that's just for me right now. So I'm kind of liking it right now. So that's kind of my thing right now. And then when I say, cheating afterwards at past 9, because I don't really be hungry like that no more these days that late anyway. So if I am, I just munch on something again, like a fruit or, little whatnots like that, some kind of sunflowers or something like that. So, but anyway, yeah.
Mike, what's your diet?
I drink a lot of water. I eat pretty good, but sometimes, man, when I don't feel like cleaning up, I don't feel like cooking, man, that's when the fast food gets me, and I really got to cut that out. With my protein shakes, I put a lot of food.
Yeah, shout out to Bojangles. I'm a victim of Bojangles.
Yeah,
they get me. Starch is my killers. That's my killer. I got the starches. That gets me, man. Those fries, man.
I put blueberries in my protein shakes, blackberries, bananas. I stay right around the corner from a juice bar, so man, the juices is good for you, man. I mean, that's real.
Yeah, I made my own at work though.
Yeah,
I got my own. I got my own little blender. I get the little frozen ones. Yeah,
because that goes straight into your bloodstream. Supplements, man. I take saw pimento. Man, it works. I'm telling you. You gotta take it consistent. You gotta take it consistently, though.
Oh, with that being said, take your
trust me. Your woman will thank you. Your woman will thank you. I'm 47. Big Mike. Trust me.
Mike, plug it in.
Because there might be some guys out there,
that need that.
Yeah. But it works. I mean, it works. I really need to get back on my green tea, man, because I'm telling you, man, when I was drinking consistently, I never got sick. Nothing, man. It seemed like, man, when I did chill off on it, that's when I got sick. It was the same thing with the elderberry. I was taking the elderberry gummies consistently, scared with the COVID thing. I'm like, okay, I'm all right. My immune system built up, man. Shoot, spring hit, allergies back, and all that stuff. So, but water is the key. I mean, if you could drink a gallon alone, you'll start seeing your weight be under control, but definitely, I think you got to cut out the fast foods. But I love.
Now, then you cut out the alcohol too, right? Not too long.
Oh yeah, I haven't. Yeah, man. Good thing, man. Next month gonna make a year. I haven't had a drink.
Nice.
So
yeah,
I've been on a routine.
I've been. I still have me a little cocktail from time to time, but I do
wrong with it.
But of course, again, with having pre-existing, I gotta be cautious on how I do that. So, of course, like any human being, we had these moments where we splurge and just wild out sometime. But you offset it with cleaning yourself up too, right? Cleaning your system by drinking the water.
Yeah.
But if I am going to have a drink, usually like a wine, if not a wine, if it's a cocktail, I usually do like the airport shotty size.
Yeah.
And for me, at 46, airport shotty, believe it or not, I'm good. Just give me just what I need.
I feel you.
And no need to try to, and I come from the days I'm guilty by association. I used to buy the bar out. You know what I'm saying? Multiple times.
Yeah, the recovery time in our age right now is
it ain't worth it.
It ain't worth it. You be down for the count for several days.
Yeah, man.
Exactly.
Some days, special occasions, you might go hard, but
you gotta live your life sometime.
But you gotta understand your body. So you say, I'm gonna pay for this. You can say in your mind, I'm gonna pay for this.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So the question is, we're gonna get to the last point of the evening. Self-care. So after we did all these things, we don't checked our BMI, we don't got our exam, we got a good routine. Now this is something that perhaps I know Alexander, your wife, will appreciate. Mike, all the women chasing you around will appreciate. How your self-care. Are you keeping up your grooming? Are you keeping up your pedicures? Are you getting a massage perhaps? Some of these things is self-care because we got to take care of ourselves. And there's nothing wrong with doing that, And
one last thing before we move on, fellas, going back to the eating, if you don't know how to cook. You're a grown man, know how to feed yourself. I'm gonna go ahead and put this out here on the air. I already told my son, my dad told me, fellas, just for the fellas, ladies, don't get offended. But it's something that my dad passed on to me. I got to pass on to every gentleman. If you rely on a woman to feed you, you're going to starve.
You're going to starve.
Go ahead. You're going to go ahead.
I ride with you on
Don't get mad at me, ladies. Don't get mad at me, ladies. I'm sorry. Grown man need to know how to cook. He should know how to cook.
He should know how to feed himself. But think about that, fellas. That's like the cherry on top. After we do all these things, you talk about men's health. You want to polish yourself up. You want to make sure you're clean. You want to make sure that you got good hygiene. Because these are the things that even though you with someone or by yourself, is basically it's a total package. And if you're looking for somebody, they don't want somebody who's just big and bulk. Maybe he's all cock diesel, but he stink. Or his toenails are scratching sheets and whatnot.
And when you said that, when you polled this question, for our homework, I thought this would be I would think of another episode or another show. And I know a person, matter of fact, my neighbor, who's a bespoke tailor. I think that would be a good show, just having giving grooming tips. I think that would be a good episode, maybe.
Oh yeah.
One day, do something about grooming, maybe have him as a guest to come give some, suggestions on fashion tips and things.
Yeah, he can help Mike out because this cat, I don't know what kind of shirt he's on tonight. You're having a show tonight. This guy dressed any kind of way. He just woke up.
Yeah, he would do what he do. But he got celebrity. He got ex-celebrity wives on his.
I'm rocking Carolina, baby. So
okay, well, I ain't gonna say too much about that. Then
I miss the sauna, man. I mean, that's one of my things, man. It used to really feel like it just eased my mind, man. It felt like I was able to heal a little bit better after a workout. Good for your skin. A lot of gyms have kind of shut that down a little bit because of Corona, but that's one of the things I do want to do. I do want to find a spa that caters more to males, or I do need to find one of those that's in the Raleigh area. So
yeah, but I think it'll be helpful to all of us, to have that downtime. I know it's us. We all feel better after a fresh cut, or or after a good workout, or we getting clean. We always feel better about ourselves, and that's the key to the whole show. Your health. You want to do the whole package. You want to come full circle with that. So hopefully, from the show this evening, somebody can they took something away from it, learn something from it. Maybe they can give a comment towards something we said tonight they agreed with or disagreed with, or they have some pointers that we could use.
Now I did come across an article talking about 15 self-care tips for men.
So we can just plug that into the link, or
okay.
yeah,
you want to
plug it into the link. because it's definitely important about your personal grooming, because a very small percentage of us as men don't take care of ourselves. There's nothing wrong with taking care of yourself. So, you need to,
and
we need to know that, you got to take care of yourself. So.
Yeah, preventive measures is better than, trying to cure something. So nobody's going to take care of you better than you. Well,
so get your pedicure, fellas. Get your manicures. Get your massages.
Shout out to the good ladies out there, man, because some ladies, man, you talked about the cooking. Some of the ladies, hey, they gonna cook for us. They gonna give us that massage. They gonna make like Mike.
And you gonna do the same.
Let's go to the doctor.
And then we're gonna do the same thing for her as well. You're gonna give her the massage, and you're gonna also cook for her as well.
You know what?
You gotta give her them props, man. You got.
But you know what, Mike? I like how you twisted the show. I love how you just twisted the show from men to women, because you know why? We're gonna have a part 2 to this show, and it's gonna talk about women's health. Yes. And with the good thing about the women's health, obviously we're not women, so we're gonna have some special guests. Some females on here to give us.
We're gonna say that discussion for when the ladies get here.
Right. So you say the same thing once they get on the show. The next show,
they might take it different. Might be like, no. We ain't talking about slave now. We talking about health now.
So. We're gonna have a returning guest, right? L Book.
Yeah, we're gonna definitely have we got a special request for K Dub to come back.
K Dub.
And we're gonna have a health expert on the show, a local health expert. Yes, she'll be giving her 2 cents on women's health. So we'll pretty much ask some questions and get some answers, so we can know how we can assist and how we can learn about the ladies around us. And
I'm interested.
I'm still Big Mike Chalmers. I'm going with the ladies for this one. I already can tell you right now.
Well, I'm looking forward to it, fellas.
No doubt. Sir. Well, as y'all see, I think it was another great episode. Please make sure you like and subscribe, share. If you any previous episodes, check those out as well. Please share those. This was a wonderful episode here. So I guess on that note, I'm Alexander.
I'm Big Mike.
I'm El Boogie.
In the building.
I keep on know who he is. This guy said, you don't know who he is.